Hello students, welcome to this online class. Myself Roshan, your geography teacher, and today you are here in this channel Learn Geography with Roshan. So today we shall start a new chapter of hydrosphere, unit of hydrosphere, third unit, that is tides and ocean currents. The tides and ocean currents we need to start. So let's start. The meaning of hydrosphere. What do you mean by the term hydrosphere? Hydrosphere, I think you are familiar with the word. Hydro means water, the layer of water. So, hydrosphere refers to the total amount of water on planet. The hydrosphere includes water that is on the surface of the planet, underground and in the air. So, hydrosphere is the total amount of water that is present on the planet. Hydrosphere includes the total body of the earth, that is oceans, rivers, lakes, underground and atmospheric water. And it is one of the four components of the realms of the earth, that is atmosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere. We are learning about these four realms of the earth. We have finished now the lithosphere. We are learning about the hydrosphere. We also will be learning about the atmosphere after completing this chapter. So the earth is often called the watery planet because nearly 71% of the surface is covered by the global oceans. Underline this one, often asked in the exam. Why earth is called the watery planet is due to the presence of water. 71% of water that is present on the surface of the earth makes watery planet. Distribution of land and water. So the distribution of land and water is not uniformly distributed equally. It is not distributed all over the world, right? So let's understand what is this, how the distribution of land and water is, or how the land and water is distributed. Land and water are not uniformly distributed over the earth. There is more than twice as much water, 71% of water and 29% of land. But in the northern hemisphere, the areas of land and water are nearly equal. While in the southern hemisphere, there is nearly 15 times as much as water on the land. So what happens? The 71% of water and the 29% of land. When you compare both the hemisphere, that is northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, the northern hemisphere, you can notice that the equal amount of the landforms and the water, but in the southern hemisphere the more amount of the water is found. So when we carefully study the globe or earth, let's see, there are a few points you need to underline and you need to learn it. First point is that there is an antipodal arrangement of land and water. Antipodal arrangement. What do you mean by the antipodal arrangement? Is because of the, if one side of the earth land is found, other side or opposite side of the earth will be found as water. That is antipodal arrangement. You can see one example in the Arctic circle, North Pole and South Pole. The North Pole, it is having the presence of water, and the South Pole, it is Antarctica continent is there. So opposite of that is arranged. That is termed as antipodal arrangement. The next point we can see about the land masses are narrowest in the southern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, you could see the land masses are narrow. They have the tapering shape, like the triangle shape that is coming towards the narrower to the southern parts of the continent in the southern hemisphere. The Antarctic landmass has three predominating areas, one extending towards South America, a second towards South Africa, and third towards Australia. So predominating areas means the landforms are connected, stick with the continent of Antarctica. One is connected with South America, other one is connected with South Africa, and the third one is connected with Australia. The oceans of earth serve many functions, especially affecting the weather and temperature. So the oceans of earth serve many functions, especially mainly the moderating influence of the temperature and the weather. Here there is a map, world map, that you must learn. and here are the water bodies, seas and gulfs are there. You must learn, practice it, and it is your homework. Send it to the after doing homework, send it in the WhatsApp. The regular movements in the ocean are of two types. So the regular movements of the ocean water, there are two movements. First one is horizontal movement and vertically moving. The amount of water that is leveled, so the bottom part of the water comes up and the upward part, the surface of the water goes down. That is horizontal movement. That is vertical movement. That is vertical movement is the rising of bottom water and the sinking of surface water. These movements are basically or mainly caused due to the combined action of first the density and the second one is winds. The first matters why the vertical movement of the water is there, the ocean water is because of the amount of density in the water. If the density of the water is more, it will be sinking, and what happens, the top level of top surface of the water will be going down, and then again downside it will be coming up. So this due to the density of the ocean water, they make a movement, vertical movements. And the winds, the first one, winds, the horizontal movements are due to the winds that is caused from the surface of the water. The density of sea water depends upon the temperature and the amount of salt in the water. It falls when the water is heated, like the tropics, when there is a large inflow of fresh water, example in the Baltic, brought by rivers, and in the polar areas, water supplied by melting ice. So it depends upon the temperature. If the temperature is more, what happens? We can see the boiling water. If the water is cool, what happens? The movement will not take place. And if the water is heated up, the movement takes place. That is the same way in the oceans. The temperature is more on the surface of the water, then it will be making movement. And in the polar areas, the temperature is very less, so it will be static. But from the equator, the water is moving towards the polar area, so they will be forming circulation. They will be pushing the cold water so that it will be coming towards the equatorial area. So that is how the circulation of ocean water takes place. We will be studying about the warm current and the cold current. That is how the circulation takes place. So now it rises when evaporation is high and rainfall is low. So density will be rising when evaporation is high and rainfall is low, as in the Red Sea, and when water is cooled, as in the polar areas. So in the Red Sea, density is more because the temperature is more and the evaporation will be high, and in the polar areas the water is cooled and the evaporation will be less, so density will be less. So these were the introduction of this hydrosphere. Hope you have understood the concept and the world map that you need to learn, water bodies. Practice it and send it in the WhatsApp. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.